What's up, YouTube? Team Movies here with Joker here in the news this Friday. Since part of the movie also is technically also about stand-up comedy as well, because there are stand-up comedy moments in it, from what I've seen from the trailer at least. I decided to do my top 10 favorite other movies about stand-up comedy. Now, granted, I'm not like adding actual stand-up comedy films, so you're not going to see Eddie Murphy's Raw in this, or Delirious, or Kevin Hart's comedy films or anything like that. These are mainly scripted films about comedy, about stand-up comedy, that is. So, because I do love me some good stand-up comedy, and do love me a good movie about pretty much about stand-up comedy. So, with that being said, here are my 10 favorite movies about stand-up comedy. All right. Coming in at number 10 is this really funny comedy that got released not so long ago, like a couple years ago, which is simply titled The Comedian. Now, Robert De Niro is, of course, in the new film Joker, and he stars in The Comedian. And here you got De Niro, who plays his character named, or I should say, this comedy legend named Jackie Burke, I should say, who has pretty much trying to like reinvent himself as like a comedic genius, and like the only artist who really wants to know him as and the artist mainly known him more of like a television character he once played. And you actually got Danny DeVito, who plays his Danny DeVito actually plays De Niro's younger brother, which is pretty cool there. And De Niro's Jackie character also falls in love with this woman named Harmony, who's the daughter of this pretty much like this Florida real estate mogul played by Harvey Keitel. And this thing has some pretty good cast members. Like, you also had Patti LuPone, who played Danny DeVito's wife. You had Cloris Leachman was in this. Hannibal Buress. Um, Dynamite himself, Jimmy Walker, was in this. You had a cameo by Gilbert Gottfried. Edith Falco was also in this. Some really great cast members. And it was directed by Ray director Taylor Hackford, who I thought did a pretty good job at directing this. Yeah, the comedian has lots of heart. It is hilarious. Like, Robert De Niro could do stand up really well. I mean, he was pretty raunchy in his stand up routine in this movie. And yeah, I really got kicked out of it. It's such a shame that it didn't like get well received, because I thought it was a really good film. Alright. Coming in at number 9 is this film called Sleepwalker Mate, which stars and is directed by this very funny stand-up comic named Mike Birbiglia, and I think he did a pretty good job with his directorial debut with us. And here, you got Mike, who plays this guy who's pretty much is all about his career and his relationship, and he also pretty much has like a sleeping disorder. So yeah, I mean, throughout the whole film, he pretty much ends up is a comedian who ends up sleepwalking throughout the whole film, and it's a really interesting one. Like, you also had Lauren Ambrose. You had Danny DeVito's daughter, Lucy DeVito, who, by the way, is also in The Comedian. You had the very funny Mark Maron, who's in Joker this week. Jesse Klein from Big Mouth fame is in this. Had some really great cast members, and Mike is a really funny stand-up comic. If you guys never seen any of his stand-up special, this guy really he really kills it when it comes to stand-up. And this is actually also based on a true story, believe it or not, which I kind of weird that I feel like this is based on a true story. I mean, hey, sleep disorder is a real thing, so I guess it's not that common. But yeah, it's a really nice little film, man. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll say give it a go. Alright. Coming in at number 8 is the 90s, I think it was the 90s or 80s, can't remember the actual year, but it's the film Mr. Saturday Night, which did star and was directed by Billy Crystal, which was this was actually Crystal's directorial debut. And in it, Billy Crystal plays this guy named Buddy Young Jr., who like pretty much end up happily to pretty pretty much wants to like happily retire alongside his wife named Elaine, played by Julie Warner. But instead Buddy is also a acrobatic blowhard who like pretty much alienates his brother named Sam, played by David Paymer, and everyone who like fails to bow into his bully. So you have his agent named Annie Wells, played by Helen Hunt, who's pretty much has a position played for like a big movie role. So he goes from being like this does have stand up in it because he does try to go from stand up to being like in a big having like a big film role, and this is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I mean, Billy Crystal, he's a comedy legend. He's always done great stand up comedy, and Mr. Saturday Night was really like the film that really not really put him on the map, but put him on the map as a director. And since then, he's directed a few other stuff here and there. Of course, he has a film he's directing with Tiffany Haddish coming out. I don't know when that's coming out, but yeah, Mr. Saturday Night, it's a really funny comedy. I mean, it has some heart in it. Great performance by Billy Crystal. I mean, this is not just a straight up comedy. This has dramatic moments in that shit, man.
Yeah, Veronica and Duncan.
And yeah, Billy Crystal was really magnificent in this. Alright. Alright, coming in at number 7 is going to be Obvious Child. Now, it's where this comic named Donna, who ends up who is really a raunchy stand-up comedian, and so like one day she ends up having a relationship with this guy played by Jake Lacy, and she ends up getting pregnant. So she wants to try to find a way how to like deal with her being a mother and deal with stand-up comedy at the same time. And it stars Jenny Slate stars in this, and I've always adored Jenny Slate. She's really funny. She's a great actress. I mean, I really get a kick out of seeing Jenny Slate in anything. And you also had the always great David Cross was in this. You had Gabby Hoffman. You had Richard Kind in this, and it was directed by Jillian Robertson, who already has 2 great films. This and Landline. Kind of hope she does a third film because she's a really cool director. And yeah, this movie was really funny. It had great performances by Slate, by Lacey, and it pretty much goes straight length of pretty much how could like a woman like anyone for that matter do like some like stand up and being a parent at the same time. And if you guys never seen Obvious Child, give it a go. It's a really nice love film. I believe it got released by A24 like back in 2014. Really good film. If you guys haven't seen Obvious Child, definitely check that one out. Alright. Coming in at number 6, I'm going with the film Punchline. Now, Punchline stars Sally Field and Tom Hanks, and it's a really good one. You also had you had like John Goodman in this, some really good cast members. And in it, you've got Sally Field, who plays this mother named and housewife named Lilia Krycek, who is like a mother and housewife who has like always believed that she could be a stand-up comedian. And so you got Tom Hanks, who plays this character named Stephen Goad, who's a very experienced stand-up, and he's pretty much on the cusp of success. But like they end up meeting and they form like an unlikely friendship. And Punchline is a really good one. Like I mean, it's kind of funny that Tom Hanks and Sally Field did this like years before Forrest Gump hit the stage. I mean, the movie Punchline got released in the late 1980s, and it's kind of funny how like years after that Sally Field ended up playing Tom Hanks' mother in Forrest Gump. So I always found that to be pretty funny. But Punchline, it's really funny. I really quite like the chemistry between Field and Hanks. Those two play off each other really well. And, of course, they played off each other really well in Forrest Gump, too. And, yeah, really good film. I mean, Punchline actually got released in like late 1980s, and it's definitely one of Tom Hanks' like earliest roles before like he's done great stuff before the 90s, but I feel like the 80s he kind of broke out more in the 80s and Punchline is a really good one. Like this one got released around the same time that Bulls and Buddies got released and it's a really good one. Alright. Coming in at number 5, I'm going with the film Top 5, which starred and was directed by Chris Rock. Now here you got Chris Rock, who plays this comedian named Andre Allen, who ends up paying big time as the star of like a trilogy action comedies about like a talking bear, and so he really wants to like start being kind of more like a serious actor, and so he ends up also falling for this like this woman named Chelsea, played by Rosario Dawson. She's pretty much like this profile writer for the New York Times, and they end up having like a relationship with one another, and they play off each other really well. And Chris Rock also wants to try to get back to his like comedic roots as well. And Top 5, it's a really underrated movie. This movie also got released in 2014, and great cast members. Like you also had people like Gabrielle Union, Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Adam Sandler even had a cameo in this. You also had Tracy Morgan, Leslie Jones, DMX even had a part in this. Whoopi Goldberg, Jerry Seinfeld, J.B. Smoot, some really cool cast members was in this. And Chris Rock, I think it's one of his best performances he's given. Like the movie is a straight up comedy, but it actually has more dramatic. At times it showed Chris Rock's dramatic side too, and it's a really good one, especially a very underrated gem. I mean, if you guys never really seen Top 5 yet, go give Top 5 a go. It's a really good one. And I kind of want to see what Chris Rock is going to direct next. Like, he hasn't really directed movies since Top 5, so. Alright. Coming in at number 4, I'm going with literally my favorite movie of the year this came out in, and that is The Big Sick. The Big Sick, which was produced by Judd Apatow, starring Camille Nanjiani, who actually plays himself, and you also got Zoe Casson, who played Camille's wife Emily Gordon, and this movie is actually scripted by Camille and his wife Emily, and it's where Camille Nanjiani plays he plays himself, who's of course this comedian, and he's also a Uber driver, and he ends up connecting with this grad student, named Emily, played by Casson, and so one night Emily ends up getting in a coma, and Camille really wants to is trying to get her back, bring her back and stuff, and it's a really touching story, and crazy that it is based on a true story and Camille actually did he of course wrote the script with his wife that the movie is based on and yeah, the Big Sick got released in 2017, and it literally ended up in my top 10 favorite movies of that year. It's that good movie. And you also had Ray Romano and Holly Hunter was also in this. It was directed by Hello, My Name is Doris, directed Micah Showalter. Speak of Sally Field. Big Sick, it's a movie about stand-up comedy, but it has lots of dramatic moments in it, and it's a really good movie. Like, if you guys never really seen The Big Sick by now, do yourself a favor, go check The Big Sick out. It's a really great one. And also showed, because Camille Nanjiani, he's best known for his comedy, like Silicon Valley and stuff like that. But this is actually the movie that made me go, yeah, this Nanjiani is more than just a comedian. That guy could really do some serious acting. And, yeah, definitely go check out The Big Sick if you guys haven't seen it. Alright. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Man on the Moon. Now, Man on the Moon is about late late comedian Andy Kaufman, who's of course best known for Taxi fame, and it really pretty much prolific Andy's like career and all that. And you also like great cast too. Like you even had Danny DeVito was also in this. Paul Giamatti. You also had Judd Hirsch was also in this. Really great cast. And Jim Carrey obviously played the role of Andy Kaufman. And literally, when I first saw this, this was literally the movie that made me go, "Yeah, Jim Carrey. This guy could do more than just straight up comedy." I thought Jim Carrey was great in as Andy Kaufman. Like he really embodied the role of Andy Kaufman and. Yeah, this is also, of course, based on the autobiography of Kaufman's life as well. And Kaufman was a really funny stand-up comedy. I mean, of course, was always best known for the show Taxi and all. And Jim Carrey, I thought he really killed it as Andy Kaufman. And if you guys never seen Man on the Moon, go check Man on the Moon out. I mean, also, Courtney Love was pretty good in this show. Alright. Now, coming in at number 2, I'm going with another Judd Apatow based movie, and that is Funny People. Now, this film also stars Adam Sandler, who ends up playing this stand-up comedy named George Simmons, who learns that he has a terminal illness and he has like a year to live. And so you've got Seth Rogen, who plays who pretty much like plays this guy named Ira, who pretty much ends up like helping George Simmons like write jokes and stuff. And Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen, those two, I mean, crazy that they've never done another movie since Funny People together. Like they both really were great in Funny People, and it was of course directed by Judd Apatow, who I thought he really killed it. And you also had Jonah Hill was in this. You had Aubrey Plaza. Eric Bana really showed that I never knew how funny Eric Bana was until I saw him in this. And you also had Leslie Mann was also in this. Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann's Doris was here. My favorite scene throughout the whole movie has got to be the Eminem's cameo, where Eminem is pretty much arguing with Ray Romano and acting like and I'm not really going to trade details, but the Eminem and Ray Romano scene is downright hilarious. I mean, you even had Aziz Ansari was great. Some really great cast. And this is, of course, a movie about stand-up, but it's a lot more dramatic than you expect. And it's, comedy, but it's also drama. Like, I guess you could call it more of a dramedy. And, yeah, this is something about Judd Apatow. Like, his movie, he's more of a comedic director, but his movies has lots of heart than you expect. Whether it's this, or This Is 40, or maybe Trainwreck. I'm actually looking forward for his movie with Pete Davidson, by the way. And kind of funny that Adam Sandler and Judd Apatow ended up doing a movie together because they were actually, believe it or not, they were actually like roommates back in the day. So, and those two has been great friends for like years, and it was pretty cool that they actually ended up, finally doing a movie together. And basically, this movie literally turned 10 years old this year. Like, dang. All right. Now, coming in at number 1 is Martin Scorsese's 1980s classic, The King of Comedy. I mean, this is really the movie that kind of, I guess you could say, inspired the Joker. And King of Comedy, I mean, you of course got Robert De Niro as this, pretty much as aspiring comedian Rupert Pumpkin. You also had Jerry Lewis in this as like a talk show, Johnny Carson-like character named Jerry Langford. You had the very funny Sandra Bernard is in this. You had Shelley Hack was here. I mean, but King of Comedy is it's a 1980s comic classic. It's not really Scorsese's. Well, actually, maybe it is one of Scorsese's best work. Like he's done so many great films. Like it's really hard to really add any of. It's kind of hard to make a Scorsese film because he has so many great ones. But yeah, King of Comedy, it's a really great one. It's a great stand-up comedy film. Robert De Niro, like, how on earth has he never done stand up before? How on earth has that guy never actually been an actual stand up comedian? Like, that guy could do comedy really well, and King of Comedy really showed. Like, De Niro showed that he can do more than just be like a big tough gangster in stuff like Goodfellas, Casino, or he showed that he can do more than dramatic stuff like he showed in Raging Bull and all. Like, the guy could really do comedy well, and I mean, this film, of course, pretty much explores like the life to like which pretty much like a nobody will go to be famous and all, and it's kind of a crazy 1980s flick, and yeah, if you guys, and also Jerry Lewis was great in this. I mean, he's of course Jerry Lewis, Jerry Lewis is the man, but yeah, if you guys never really seen The King of Comedy yet, if you guys want, with Joker coming out this year, this week I mentioned that. If you want to see where where Todd Phillips and Warner Bros. Got their inspiration for Joker, check out Kings of Comedy, because literally just from the trails alone, Joker literally feels like the King of Comedy, and Robert De Niro is kind of playing a similar part to his character for King of Comedy. I mean, I don't even be surprised if King of Comedy and Joker are set in the same universe. I really won't be surprised about that. But yeah, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, yeah, definitely go check out The King of Comedy if you guys never seen it. It's an '80s comedy classic, and it's definitely a Scorsese classic too. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, The Comedian. 9, Sleepwalk with Me. 8, Mr. Saturday Night. 7, Obvious Child. 6, Punchline. 5, Top 5. 4, The Big Sick. 3, Man on the Moon. 5, Funny People. 1, The King of Comedy. Now, there's lots of other ones I probably could have added. Let's see. There's the Lenny Bruce biopic, Lenny with Dustin Hoffman. That's a good one. There's speaking of Jim Carrey, there's he was in a movie called Robert Face, which is like actually one of his earliest roles, like very very earliest roles. There's Richard Pryor's directing film, JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. There's Talking Dirty After Dark with Martin Lawrence.
Right here, right now.
There's Funny Bones, that was also with Jerry Lewis. That was a good one. There's The Aristocrats. The film with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, or about Nina. That was pretty good. So pretty good. And if you really want to go with TV, there's like literally good TV shows about stand-up comedy too. There's obviously Seinfeld's the big one. That show with Pete Holmes in it. What was it called? Crashing, I think was called. That was pretty good. There's some good TV shows about stand-up comedy as well. So yeah, but let me leave to you guys. What are some of your favorite movies about stand-up comedy? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is T Movies signing off.